Hello, I'm Ioannis from Zografakis from Hellenic Mediterranean University in Crete, and together with Ermelinda Pereira, we will from Habitat Portugal, we will talk about green infrastructure and cover crops application in olive orchards for biodiversity, soil health, and climate resilience. A quick overview of the presentation. I will first talk about green infrastructure. What is green infrastructure and why and how this can be applied in olive orchards. I will quickly give some information about functional biodiversity of olive orchards and present some results on a project that we work in our lab that is related to green infrastructure application. Ermelinda will talk about soil cover management. Okay, so I want to say that I'm a member of the Olive Vine and Agroecological Production Systems Lab with head of the lab, Professor Emmanuel Kambourakis. And we have worked on green infrastructure in the context of this EU Life project. So first of all, what is green infrastructure in olive orchards? It is a strategically planned network of GI elements and applied agroecological sustainable farming methods. So regarding GI elements, they can include aromatic medicinal fruit trees and shrubs, plantations, artificial water, as well as stone and grass refugium to support biodiversity of the olive orchards. Regarding sustainable farming methods, some practices are the soil and spontaneous vegetation management, which can be done by maintaining field margins for flowering and flowering plant strips, application of cover crops, and minimum soil disturbance. Regarding also to be careful about the tree canopy and the management, as well as to achieve optimum irrigation and some agroecological and sustainable plant protection and nutrient fertilizer management. So why to apply the green infrastructure? It's well documented that in olive orchards there have been soil erosion, loss of soil fertility, pest and disease outbreaks, loss of biodiversity and decline in olive product quality. And that's because of the intensification of soil management, monoculture, and the increased use of synthetic chemical inputs. So green infrastructure provides the basis for the green infrastructure by providing habitats for flora and fauna species, provides the basis for the provision of several agroecosystem services, such as provision of food, feed, energy production, soil and water conservation, pest and disease control, prevention, and promotion of cultural heritage. And these services results on high nature value olive orchards, certified olive products with high environmental quality, on sustainable agroecotourism development, and of course on the adaptation of olive orchards to climate change, which is the main topic of this event. Now, how to apply the green infrastructure? The main considerations that should be should have in mind is regarding to spatial planning of the GI elements. So the GI elements should be established in order to achieve maximum connectivity between the elements to avoid um, creating obstacles for farmers to perform the management of the olive uh, as well as to reduce water evaporation and achieve easier of water elements if we have established. Also, regarding the selection of supporting species, it's important to have in mind the climatic conditions of each area, the ecosystem services provided by these species, and the conservation status and endemism of the species that we like to plant. On the side, you also see photos of application, establishing some stone refugia plantations and artificial water ponds in the orchards of the project. We also have developed a decision support tool for assessing that will help farmers to assess green infrastructure in their olive orchards. I was planning to open the link, but I don't know if I can do it from here. Okay, can you press the English, the English flag, the UK flag? Okay, so a quick description of what this decision support tool is. This is a map where the farmer can pin his olive orchard, and as we go down, there are several questions regarding GI elements, such as the number of elements, stone refugia, water ponds that are established in the orchard. If we go further down on the page, can we go a bit further down on the page, please? Okay, there is a list of suggested species of planting for that we have as plantations. And there are also links and photos of the species. And further down, some shrubs, trees, and finally questions regarding the management of the olive orchard. And at the end, there is an assessment how well this olive orchard is performed performed regarding the GI establishment. Okay, now go back to the presentation. Okay. Okay, very quickly, regarding the functional biodiversity of the olive orchards, the goal is to increase floral biodiversity, which in turn has, let's say, an important agroecosystem service, the biological pest control. So if there are presence of specific species of plants in the orchard, we can increase some parasitoids like Psittalia concolor, parasitoids of Bactrochera olive fly, like Psittalia concolor and Pnigalium mediterraneus, and several predators of the olive fruit fly from several families, Formicidae, Merobidae, Carabidae, etc. So the Life Gig project have achieved a network of green infrastructure in 30 olive orchards in Crete, Greece, and certification standard for olive products produced in orchards with green infrastructure, all our tourism package that incorporate green infrastructure, and the decision support tool that I just showed you. And finally, a quick results regarding the monitoring of biodiversity of olive orchards. In 5 years' time, we have found 270 floral species from several functional families, 18 Arthropotaxa families related to biological pest control, 77 bird species, 18 gastropod species, 9 mammal species, and 3 reptile species. So, and we also have done some comparisons between conventional and organic management for all these parameters. And in the case of flora diversity, there is high number of functional flora species in organic orchards. So I will pass the stage to Ermelinda.
Thank you, Ioannis. So I'm not going to give a very technical talk. This is because I represent a farmers association. We do not have a proper research center, but we interact with the universities and institutes to gather information. We are a region of Portugal. Trás-os-Montes is in the northeast of Portugal. If anyone wants to meet it, you're very welcome. And as for the orography of it, we have a variation from 66 meters to 1200 meters altitude compared to the sea level. And this has an influence, of course, in soil and climate. So it's very, very different from one place to the other. And the olive farms are visible up to 600 meters. That is the green region in the left side of the map. So if anyone is in doubt, there is a climate change. This is data from a meteorology station, and this is about the temperatures and the number of days that we have a certain temperature. It looks like the pattern is really similar in the three graphs, but if you look closer, there is an increase in the days, the number of days where the temperature is above 30 degrees, and in the last 30 years, it's 3 to 4 more days compared to the first graph you had there. When it comes to precipitation, the pattern is completely different. And what I would like to highlight here is that in the last one, the bottom graph, you have a new scale. So there is the number of days where the daily precipitation is above 30 millimeters. This was not coming up in the first ones. So it's quite different. That being said, climate change is here, and we do have higher temperatures, and we do have heavier rains. And this has an influence in olive orchards. We have erosion. As I told you, we have steep slopes, and erosion is one of our first problems. So we lose soil, we lose quality soil, we lose nutrients, we lose a lot of things. As a farmers association, it's our job to influence our associates. And I'm sorry for the word if someone doesn't like it, but we do try to influence them, trying to tell them that a bare soil is a naked soil, is an unprotected soil. And for that, we don't like to see this kind of photographs. This is real, and that is real as well. So what we try to do, we try to influence our farmers to manage the cover of their olive orchards. So what is cover management? We have had a couple of experts talking about it just a couple of minutes ago. And for us, it's just a green infrastructure that nature gives you. And it's easy to apply. So why is it important? Because the moisture in the soil increases, because climate change is here, because erosion is really a problem, and biodiversity thanks you. So how to do it? It's easy, just let the weeds grow. Or sow them if you want to choose a specific kind of cover, depending on what you want. A big problem we have is that farmers tells us, how about fire? Summer, high temperatures, and we do have high temperatures. Well, we need to treat it instead of tilling, which is a very common practice. You just have to take care of it and try to work it out with machinery or with herding, providing food for animals, for example. The solutions are various, and I'm not going to tell you which one is the best. We try to learn with institutes and universities and transmit that knowledge to our farmers. Currently, we are involved in this project, which is called Bio4Med. It has 6 different line of actions, and one of them is about cover management. We are trying to investigate the impact of cover crop seeding with native species, and this is a problem commercially, because commercially native species, you just don't find them. So we're investigating the impact of cover crop seeding with native species on soil, rhizospheres, and root microbial communities. What was done was in the area that I told you. This is weird. Sorry. So we have an olive orchard. We split it in 2, and half of them we didn't seed anything. It's natural cover, and the other half we seeded a mixture of native plants. The project is coming to an end in September. The results are ready or being prepared for publication, but I can tell you that cover cropping with native plant species has shown to improve the soil microbiota, how promoting plant growth, nutrient cycling, stress tolerance, biocontrol agents. They do have different behavior. So the effect differed between microbial groups. Bacterial communities were mainly affected in the rhizospheric and bulk soils, and fungal communities were primarily impacted in root, followed by the soil and rhizospheres. I don't have much more to tell you, but I really like that sentence. I've heard it a couple of days ago, and I just like it. That means if after a storm I can look to a river and see it clear, part of our job will be done. That's it. Thank you.